Everyone can see my screen? Atul, you're there? Atul, can you hear me?
Okay,
Atul,
ma'am. Now I can.
you can hear now, yeah? You can see it as well? Okay, so what is risk management? What are innovations? So risk management is nothing more than the process of identifying, assessing, and mitigating the risk that can disrupt logistics operations. What does this mean? Like we explained, like we've discussed earlier, data is collected every time a shipment goes through. In each and every stage of logistics, data is also collected. Like, for example, to find out which route is the best, to find out what are the challenges you might face in any one of the modes of shipments. This data helps in forecasting, helps in understanding if there is a problem, where that problem is, and how to solve that problem. Okay. So the process of identifying and assessing, this is risk management. Mitigating is when you taken the proper steps to reduce the effect of that problem, that challenge. Okay. Why is it important? Why do we need risk management? Because only then we can find out what is going wrong in the logistics chain, ensure that the operations are running smoothly. We can find out where we are overspending, how to reduce the costs, and thereby making sure that the customer satisfaction is taken care of. Okay. Like, for example, say supposing a particular company wants to reduce its operational costs in last mile by 10%. But at the same time, they don't want to compromise on the delivery time. So what do they have to do? They will need to go through their operations, their last mile operations, say for the last 6 months or so, and identify if there has been any warehouse location that has been not running on time, if there is any delivery that has been late, consistently late, if it is a particular person, if it is a vehicle, if it is a route. Okay. Based on that, they can take measures, they can take decisions on improving, looking what is into the problem, where the source of that problem is, and if at all there is a way that they can improve it. Do you understand now what is risk management? What is risk management? What is risk management? Atul, what is risk management?
Ma'am, overseeing the risk may be okay.
Okay. How do you identify where the risk is? What do you need to do?
What, ma'am?
If you need to identify where the risk is, what is the process of finding out where the risk is?
Planning, ma'am.
Planning.
Yes.
Okay, let me put it to you this way. Question for both of you, okay? Do you have regular complaints from customers that they are not receiving their parcels on time? Okay. And there are a lot of these complaints. So you ask your team to give you a report. When you come to that, when you get that report, you understand that most of the deliveries are from one particular warehouse, one particular route, one particular area. Let's say, for example, it is most of the late deliveries are happening in Ernakulam. Okay, after the report, you've come to understand that any delivery is going to Ernakulam, any delivery is going towards Ernakulam is being delayed. So what will you further dig into? What will you further analyze?
Find the best route.
No. First, you need to find the root of the problem. If there are deliveries happening late, why? Traffic jam, warehouse is not
It's a
running
city, ma'am.
properly. Sorry?
It's a city, so there is very high traffic.
No, understand, Atul. Understand this, okay? To understand why there is a problem, it could be a root problem, it could be a warehouse problem, it could be a vehicle problem. But you need to find out where. In order to do this, you need to run through the last 6 months data. How many trips were made, who made how many trips, what was the result of those trips, what route did they take, where did they pick up the cargo from, where was it delivered, all those things. This is what helps you identify where exactly the problem lies. You said it is a traffic problem. How can you solve the traffic problem?
By finding a route that less traffic.
No. You will need to understand if it is a traffic problem, you need to understand at what time are these deliveries being made? Why is it going during peak time? Can it be, can the deliveries be made earlier? Can the deliveries be made later?
Oh, okay.
It's not only about route. Because see, if it is a route problem, if it is a timing problem, if it is a traffic problem, you cannot tell the other people not to go at that time, can you? Like, for example, if you're having heavy traffic, say between 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock, it is you understand it is office going crowd, correct?
Yes.
Can you ask them not to go at that time?
No.
No. But can you control your own delivery people? Yes, you can.
Yes.
Correct? How can you solve this problem? You will again need to go back to find out what time are they picking up the parcels from the warehouse. For that, you need to find out what time the warehouse opens. Can we open the warehouse earlier? So can we start the deliveries earlier so that we avoid the peak time? This
Okay.
is risk management. This is mitigating risks, avoiding the problems. Understand? What happens
Yes,
in
ma'am.
this case? You are still meeting customer satisfaction. You are beating whatever factors that are posing a problem. For example, traffic or the route or the drivers or the warehouse opening. You're taking care of all these problems. All right? Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Any questions?
No.
Okay. Now, what are the common risks that you have in logistics? This is risk management. All right. Now, what are the common risks? One is transport disruption. Transportation disruption. This is one of the main common risks in logistics. The next is supply chain interruptions, warehouse risks, regulatory risks, and natural disasters. Now, most common is transportation. Where are the risks in transportation? Aditya?
Yes, ma'am.
What are the transportation risks that we can foresee? What are the transportation disruptions? Delays due to traffic,
Yes, ma'am.
weather, accidents, or mechanical failures. Okay. Problems with the vehicle itself, problems with if there is an accident, problems because of traffic, problems because of weather. That is, if it's heavy rains, you have to stop for some time. You cannot ride in the rain. If it is if it is something like this, you cannot always solve it immediately. Rain, you cannot predict when it's going to rain. So unfortunately, if it is a delay because of the rain, there is nothing much that we can do about it. If it is because of traffic, like we said earlier, we can find out if we can change the timings of our delivery. We can find out if we can take a different route. If it is accidents, the best thing we can do, first of all, is make sure, of course, that your own personnel is safe. And if it is a vehicle, if the vehicle is damaged or if the person is injured, the first thing is get them in the safe place and then find a backup to do the delivery. Okay, 90% of the time, if you explain to the customer that there has been an accident, there has been a vehicle or somebody is injured, they will understand and you can delay it to the next day. But if we can offer them the solution of a delay of maybe half an hour or 1 hour so that we're giving them a replacement, they will understand that as well. Okay, supply chain interruptions. All of you remember what is supply chain? What is supply chain?
It's the process from manufacturer to the end user.
To the end user. Now, what can the interruptions be in supply chain? What kind of delays, what kind of risks can you find where supply chain is concerned? Biggest problem will come from suppliers. And suppliers give us what?
Products.
No, suppliers. You're talking about supply chain. So the first person in the supply chain is
Manufacturer.
before manufacturer. Before manufacturer, who's there? What is procurement? Raw materials.
Oh.
Okay. Supply chain means the manufacture, putting together the raw parts, bringing them together, and then manufacturing the product. So supply chain interruptions will always, most of the time, will come from suppliers. How can you take care of this? What's the best thing you can do if you're having a problem with a supplier? The problems with suppliers will be delays, shortage, no stock, or quality issues. So if you are somebody who's running a supply chain, okay, and if you are in charge of procurement, what can you do?
Inform inform them earlier.
Okay,
to
okay, fine. You've told them once, you've told them twice, you've told them 10 times. It is the same problem. What will you do?
find another manufacturer or
You
something.
can change your supplier. Another thing is, especially when you know there's a high demand for a certain type of component, that certain raw material, you will not rely on just one supplier, correct?
Okay, ma'am.
You will always you will have more than one supplier. You will have many who will give you this raw material because it is necessary for you. Okay. This is another common risk that you can find in logistics. Warehouse risks. What are the risks that you can find in warehouse? Atul, you want to go into
Space.
warehouse.
Space problem.
Space problem. What else?
Delay.
Delay in what?
Delay in packing or picking something.
Delay in the packing, delay in the picking. Okay, that is wrong handling.
Oh.
What else? What else can you have in warehouse that is a risk? Improper handling, improper storage leading to damage.
Okay.
What else? Missing goods. Actual stock not matching with the inventory. Like if the inventory says you've got 30 pieces of chargers, 30 pieces of chargers. according to inventory report. But actual stock is 25. So which means what? 5 pieces are missing. Correct? These are all risks that you can face with warehousing. What about regulatory risks? What are regulatory risks? Changes in law, which affect storage, which affect transportation, especially when you go global in global logistics, that different countries, the regulations will change, customs will change, laws will change, taxes will change. All these become risks in logistics. And then last of all, you have natural disasters, stuff like floods, earthquakes, hurricanes, trees falling down.
What, ma'am? Third one.
Natural disasters, floods, earthquakes,
No.
hurricanes.
What's that?
Hurricane is, okay, you've heard of typhoon.
Huh?
You've heard of typhoon?
No.
Typhoon. You haven't heard of typhoon. Okay, you know what floods are.
Yes, ma'am.
You know what earthquakes are.
Yes.
You've heard of tornadoes,
Yes, ma'am.
something like that.